I'll give you like 5 different like shows to watch that I think that
please
could get on there and kind of like
love to hear that.
mimic in a way, but also kind of take it a step further.
Right, learn from.
Yeah, for sure, man. Oh, you mean privately?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought you was about to drop.
That's the cheat code after the cheat code unlock. You feel me? Now that's exclusive content. We're gonna only stream that to our Twitch audience. If you're not subscribed to Twitch, make sure you go to Twitch at cheatcode_TV, man. That's gonna be our Twitch, man.
What's going on, y'all? Listen, we're back with another episode of Cheat Code Unlocked, man. Today, we got a dope episode for y'all as usual.
Yeah.
Today we're unlocking the cheat codes to none other than gaming and esports, man. And for those of you who don't know, the gaming and esports industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Big money.
I said billion with a
Big
B,
money.
right?
Bees.
There's big money going around in the esports industry, gaming. All my parents out there who've been taking your kids games away. Shout out to my dad, because you know, he used to take all my Xbox games away. I could have been like these guys here, but instead you decided to, we ain't gonna get into all that.
Don't do him dirty.
All right, we ain't gonna get into all that. But listen, we got Ryan and Chris from Cxmmunity here.
Yeah.
They run an amazing organization that does esports and gaming on Twitch and HBCUs all across the country.
All kinds of platforms.
And we about to unlock these cheat codes. Fellas, I appreciate y'all for being here, man.
Yeah, welcome to Cheat Code Unlocked, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having us.
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
So before we get into the business of everything like that, tell us how you guys met. Tell us about the community, the partnership between you guys. What's that like?
Yeah, no, it started before Cxmmunity, honestly. So going back to like 2017, we had a mutual friend that Chris knew from grad school.
Okay.
I at the time was working in corporate America in IT.
So 9 to 5.
Yeah, so he actually brought us together initially, and we started a business called Nexus Entertainment and Sports, which is still active. And under that, we do music concerts. So we did concerts every other month here in Atlanta, probably for like the last 2-3 years, minus the COVID years. Of course. So most recently we just did a pretty big show on Cinco de Mayo at Buckhead Theater with Duke Deuce and artists that we work with, like the letter M, Timothy Isaiah, Brandon Fish, a lot of local, Deontay Hitchcock.
I think I might have seen something about that, as a matter of fact. That's dope.
So that's actually how we first got pulled together.
So in the music space.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
A lot of synergies between music and gaming, I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah.
Would you say it's the management side, or how is that?
Say it again.
Now, would you say it's the management side as far as synergies between the music and the gaming industry?
Said management?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I guess managing like music artists
like
and
talent.
Right.
Like talent.
Yeah. Talent is different. There are a lot of similarities, but it is like a bit different as well. I think there's a lot more opportunities as it relates to gaming.
Interesting.
So you guys met through that. Now, did you guys go to school together, or?
Nah, I went to HBCU in Alabama, Oakwood University. Chris went to North Carolina Central. So it was really literally 2017. So I finished school 2015, 2016, right?
Graduated undergrad 2016.
Yeah, so we were both in Atlanta for a little bit. Did the music stuff. We still work with the two artists that we kind of met through those initial early concerts.
Yeah. Wow.
But then January of 2020, so probably like a month or so before, maybe like a month or two before COVID, is like when Cxmmunity itself had started.
Wow.
Same thing. Yeah, around the same time.
A lot of that was just driven around. We were always kind of tapped in and knew what was going on in esports and gaming, specifically in Atlanta. So the idea for Cxmmunity was just to help more people of color come into the gaming space. Originally, those were completely separate from the music, but COVID happened, the concerts of course slowed down, and then that's when we went all in on the gaming side.
It makes sense. I mean, I'm guessing COVID shut down a lot of people home playing games, right? Stuff like that, right? And probably gets a lot more attention than, maybe during pre-COVID times.
Sure.
Right, so let me ask you about gaming and esports as a whole. Like, what does that industry look like? Because I know we're talking about gaming, we're talking about esports, but as a business model, as an industry, right? A lot of people don't know what that looks like. So can you kind of give us a little bit of color on what the gaming industry looks like as a whole? Like how people make money, where the opportunities are, that kind of thing?
Yeah, no, I think gaming in itself hasn't necessarily changed. versus like, you know, just traditional gaming, except like when you throw in like live streaming, then that just unlocks another revenue stream.
Right.
So you can be a gamer and you could also like live stream. So like you're playing your video games and then there's people donating to you on Twitch, or they may be subscribing to your channel for like, call it 5, 6, maybe sometimes 10, 12 months on end. And that may get you, I don't know, some people get like millions of dollars from like just subscribers alone.
Why would you say people are donating to these guys? Just sheer entertainment or just fan base type of thing?
Yeah, it's all fanfare.
Okay, man, that's dope.
So it's literally because they like the outside marketing of the talent, right? So is it because the way I'm looking at it is like, you know, you got YouTubers, right?
Right.
And I watch YouTubers all the time, but I'm me personally, I don't know if I'm gonna be coming out of pocket just to donate to a YouTuber just to watch them, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, when it comes to like on the Twitch side of things, is it, you know, something that's more so related to, you know, anything exterior, like, you know, live events or, you know, sponsorships or anything of that nature? Or?
Yeah, I think as a gamer, as like gaming talent, once you figure out how to like monetize individuality, which is the same as like the YouTube creators, it's just on the gaming side. But the donations, they do unlock different things. So like, you know, you may be a subscriber for like 10 months and you get like exclusive access. It's just like another level of like exclusivity for a lot of people. For some people, it's literally just a donation. Why they do that? Ryan may have a better answer, but I think the fanfare in like gaming is just kind of like unmatched.
Next level.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Twitch is a big, I mean, that sounds like it's one of the major revenue streams for this industry. So when Twitch kind of comes about, it unlocks a lot of this revenue opportunities for people, similar to how YouTube did for general content creators. Is that right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so I mean, gaming is just, I think Twitch and YouTube is one small piece of just like what gaming is. I think a lot of times the headlines are very misleading, if I'm just very transparent. Most people in gaming don't make a lot of money. And the opportunity to make money in gaming isn't easy, it's actually very hard,
difficult.
right? It's like probably 10, 15, 20 people on planet Earth that actually make a full-time, multi-million-dollar living while playing games. Like, it's not as robust as you would think, right? I think, just like very transparently, it's like, what angle do you want to go in? Like, for us, we're not creators. So our goal is not to cut on a live stream and then have people just donate solely to like the organization. But the point is like, there's sponsorship revenues, there's media rights. You definitely can get donations. The same reason that I would say is, it's in a weird way, the same way like YouTubers or Twitch streamers don't have like signature Nikes, right? In a real way, it's like that's how they're buying into, like, we buy into LeBron by buying LeBrons, we buy into Jordan by buying Jordans. Like, people will donate to a Twitch streamer because they may get an exclusive t-shirt, or they may get to like go to an event and meet them in person. So it's like just different ways of like interaction on the computer.
So there's like byproducts, direct byproducts of your investment. Like, it's not just you following their journey and things like that, you're actually getting something out of it.
Ideally, right? Or sometimes it could be purely altruistic in the sense that, you know, I know this person is big in a space that's not really recognized. I actually do just want to help them. So like, there is just like straight up donations.
Small percentage. So actually, it goes into a business model that, you know, I've been, you know, very keen on lately, right? And really speaking to a lot, which is, you know, building an audience first and foremost, right? Like, when you have an audience, that audience becomes a community at some point, right? Once you add on a little additional layer from just them watching you or them seeing you do something. You know, adding on additional layers like live events, like products, like brand and things like that builds a community. And from a community, then, you know, there's monetization that happens on the back end of that, right? Once you have a loyal fan base. So it sounds like it's basically the same type of thing, which is, I guess, where you come up with the name community, right? It's probably kind of ties into that same dynamic.
Interestingly enough, like, from you mentioning that there's not that many people actually making, you know, money in the gaming space, it just brought back a memory, because on the news, every time I see something about gaming, it's about somebody making money in gaming, right? Like, there's a gentleman that I think got X amount of millions from gaming, and then from taxes, like just because he wasn't filing as a a company or something like that, he ended up like having to pay like $5 million to taxes or something like that. And it was all over ESPN, it was all over the news and things like that. So it's interesting because every time I see like these gaming events, there's like a lot of people that actually attend these gaming events, and when they're streaming it, they make it so glorified that it's like, okay, everybody in the gaming industry is making money if they're streaming. You know what I mean?
That's what I was like. Yeah. It's about how you look at it, because I think a lot of times there's confusion between like, if you see lots of people in an arena watching gaming, that's a team, right? Versus if I'm watching an individual on Twitch, that's just a content creator. Right. So there's like those things aren't necessarily one and the same. Right. So like the kid most people are talking about is like the kid that won $3 million playing Fortnite. Yeah, like he did win $3 million playing Fortnite, but not everyone is basically the number one Fortnite player in the world.
Exactly. So going pro for
so traditional sports. It's the same type of model that you'll have in traditional gaming. So for us, we just have an organization specifically, though, holistically, that just wants to focus on making more people aware of what the opportunities are holistically in gaming, and understanding like what the avenues are that they can then make their own decision on what they want to do or what they decide that they do not want to do within the space.
Yeah. And that's not just like talent either, it's also jobs.
Careers.
Entrepreneurship opportunities.
So let me ask you this then, like, I was telling you earlier in the conversation, right? I was talking to my son. We're talking about business opportunities and things like that. He's 10 years old. And he's looking for different ways that he can monetize and make some money outside of traditional businesses, right? Like lemonade stands and things like that. So I'm like, Twitch, been hearing a lot about Twitch gaming, let's look into that. So we're looking through YouTube, right? And we come across videos of 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds making multi-millions of dollars in, things of that nature. Like you're saying, there's just a handful of them, right? But then there's also things like Roblox creators who are developing their own Roblox worlds and games and things of that nature. How is it that a kid or even an adult gets into spaces like that, right? Creating development side or any of the other avenues that you were kind of mentioning before?
I think a lot of times early on, just getting into those opportunities, 9 times out of 10 they just had access to it. One of the biggest things that we preach is like the disparity between like PC, which is the preferred professional method of gaming, and then you have like console, which is like Xbox and PlayStation. And then growing up, young black household, it's very rare that you have like a PC, let alone one that you can play video games on. Exactly.
Graphics cards, and all that type of stuff.
And so I would just say that they probably had access. And you, like your son, if he has access, I would definitely fuel it. Continue to fuel it, especially more so like on the video game developer side. But I mean, there are a lot of opportunities. Like Ryan always talks about, playing NBA 2K. You play it pretty much every single day growing up, but you never once think like, damn, I could work for NBA 2K. So just basically fueling it, providing access.
So what you guys do at Cxmmunity is teach, educate, and train folks on gaming development and things of that nature.
Yep.
Yeah, like a part. Yeah, so like that's like the education, like awareness side. We also own and operate our own collegiate, like we're an NCAA for HBCUs when it comes to gaming as well. So like we have scholarships, so like we actually pay students now that are within like our HBCU esports league. We have about 35 schools that are a part of that, so those programs get paid if they win. Students get paid out scholarships. We've probably paid single students up to $10,000, $15,000 just for their winnings over like the last year and some change. So it's pretty holistic in the sense that we have academic programs in the schools, aftercare programs, summer programs, weekend programs, where we'll bring in 25, 50 kids in Metro Atlanta, and they'll go through like a coding or like a gaming boot camp or workshop. And then we also at the collegiate level have like literally NCAA for gamers. So, and we do the gaming part on Twitch, but the other stuff takes place like in a traditional like school setting.
So those are like the part where you'll say those are like the teams that you guys are building essentially. Each school has their own team, is that right?
Yeah, so like we're specifically, for lack of better words, a governing body. So the schools have their teams. We help the schools like start their teams. But once those teams are established, we are, all right, we have a team. We want to play in a 22-week long season. We're going to be playing Madden, Call of Duty, Fortnite, etc. People then join this league. They go through like 11 broadcasts in the fall, 11 broadcasts in the spring. And then we have a championship trophies like
Yo, this is like a real NBA season for gaming.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Pretty much. I mean, it's just allowed us to unlock an additional revenue stream for the students.
Right.
Of course, you know, you can get scholarships from just playing the video games. And y'all went to college.
Yeah.
You're probably playing video games in your dorm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No fault to that.
It's all good.
But yeah, and then unlocking another revenue stream for the schools. Where we're able to work with like corporations to then fuel, and again going back to access, like just building out esports labs at the campuses so that the students can get there, they can stream if they want to, you know, they can pretty much learn how to dethrone and I guess like rebuild their PCs, just different things outside of like gaming.
And it seems like it would also be like almost like a bragging rights type of thing for the college, right? The same way you have NCAA teams that are like Notre Dame that wins the championships for basketball. At some point, you know, I think it'll probably end up being something like where, you know, if a school is the championship for whatever the gaming, you know, championship was, it might attract new talent to their gaming program, essentially, right?
I mean, it definitely helps fuel the school's bottom line. I think early last year was the very first time I've actually heard about it personally. We had a call from a lady whose son was like into gaming, and she didn't realize that HBCUs had esports programs, and so she wanted to know what was the best school to send her son to play esports, right?
That's crazy,
That's interesting, man. That's interesting.
Up.
So what was the aha moment for you guys? Like, yo, we gotta start an esports company. Like, you know, how did that all come about?
I mean, it was so like in Georgia, as we were talking about like gaming, there was no like path to pro that was kind of like set up. So in Atlanta, esports, as well as like maybe 12, 15 other states, if not more at this point, high schools are like have esports teams. So those kids in high school then get scholarships to play in college, and then just like you have traditional pipeline, but it wasn't happening for the black schools here in the city just because they didn't have the money to get started. So that was like why we started, was to then raise money for those schools that had kids that want to play that couldn't do it. We got them started, and then now they have like esports programs essentially. So that was really the reason. I mean, there was no like, oh, we know we can make this amounts of money, or it was just like we want to develop an ecosystem that can self-support itself. We can help facilitate it from the top down, bring in corporate partners, help fund the whole thing, run the programs, and then systemize. And then really build an ecosystem around something that historically has not had a lot of process.
Man, listen, so I think that right there is a major cheat code in and of itself, right? So, you know, that I gotta commend you, you know, first and foremost, both of you guys, because you guys essentially created something amazing, filled a need in the space that you guys saw that was there, right? And then on top of that, you know, fueled it through passion and not, you know, pursuing the monetary gain. Even though now it's led to, obviously you guys have gotten, you know, $1 million sponsorship deals and things like that, right? From like Verizon and things of that nature, correct?
Yeah, I guess to provide more clarity, that's more so like a, I guess, HBCU culture or ecosystem in itself got $1 million investment from Verizon. What we did there is basically take that, split it in half. 5 schools get an esports lab. The other, well, same 5 schools, but also another $100K goes towards students studying STEM-related majors on campus. And so what we do there is again like build out the labs on a larger scale. So now, like the first school we did was Morgan State in Baltimore, Maryland, and they have like full-fledged. So now they have like full-fledged, fully operated esports lab. We'll be going back in August to surprise those students studying STEM with their scholarship check.
Man, we gotta pull up.
We gotta put. I was just about to say that. That's all right. Let us know, man. We'd love to come.
Let's do it.
Yeah, come check
it's right
that
down
out.
the street from us.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, like, you know, we're working with Howard as well in our space, in the financial space, building out, you know, labs and trading, you know, facilities and things like that. In those schools. So I mean, that's hand in hand. That's dope. We'd love to.
We're building a lab at Howard. In August. Like the first or second week.
August is gonna be that month.
It's gonna be busy for sure. It's gonna be busy fall.
Sure. That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's dope. So take me through, like, what does the lab look like, you know, for you guys? Like, what is, if somebody who comes into to let's say Morgan, and wants to see like what the lab looks like, can you give us a little bit of description, insight into like what that lab looks like, and what goes into that?
Yeah, it kind of varies. So again, starting out, like we received like, I'll call it a smaller donation than the Verizon one. So we took that. We did about 8 to 9 gaming PCs, 3 gaming consoles. Maybe hang like the TVs on the wall, and just make it like extremely as robust as possible, of like a gaming lounge. So essentially, that's it. You have like some LEDs. You got gaming chairs. You got your gaming desks, headsets, mouse, keyboard. And then we purchased the game titles as well. For the Verizon one, we're looking at 20 to 25 PCs. 4 and 5 consoles that kind of sit. They have LEDs, again going back to like the gaming chairs, the whole nine. You'll look at like a PWI, and that's still not a lot. Shout out to Verizon.
The gaming space.
But I mean, there's like the University of Kentucky, who has, I don't know, a couple $1 million into their like esports lab. So that's to the point where we're trying to get.
I've seen some special stuff, man. Like going back to Kentucky, I think they got the, like, there's a lot of talk, of course, that metaverse, like, Web3 and NFT space and stuff like that. They got the Oculus, they got that machine that you can actually like put the Oculus on and stand and run while you're playing the shooting game. So it's like you're actually in the game physically. I thought that was super dope, man.
And I mean, so when we talk about PWIs at HBCUs, right? I mean, traditionally PWIs tend to get more capital donations and capital influxes. We all know that, right? But when it comes to the esports space, the fact that I think there's a statistic showing that like 80-something% of the gamers out there or gaming, 83% of the our population plays video games in some way, shape, or form. Versus like I think it's like 70-something% of white teenagers and students and things like that. 72%, right? So that being the case, how do you guys see that this? I mean, obviously you guys are feeling this disparity that's in the space. How large is that gap from where PWIs are with their funding and financing their programs versus where HBCUs are currently?
I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, a lot of the schools, they just have funding, or they had it just built into the budget to build the labs. I mean, no HBCUs really had that kind of set aside. I think there are a couple schools that receive like federal grants to like build out a lab. I think Hampton was one of those schools. Just getting grants, and it's not like an esports grant. It's just more so built around just like a STEM technology innovation lab or innovation center type thing. But with that being said, I mean, a lot of the schools now is really just identifying, making sure that the schools have the students that would actually utilize the space. But the main thing with the lab is just that it at least provides the minimum infrastructure for them to start training and developing as a team. Because the idea is that we can help you get started, but again, our core responsibility or core purpose is to like make sure that everything continues moving forward. So it's like, if we can at least get you started, show at least how we're doing this process. The idea is those at these clubs, in order for this whole thing to work, they have to become self-sustaining. Like one organization can't support all 50 institutions, or I say 50 institutions, that's how many we support, but we can't support all 100 HBCUs in the country. Like, even if you look at the HBCU landscape, you have the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, you have the UNCF. There's like a shared responsibility of that community. So that's what's like our main thing, is like allowing these schools to have what they need to at least get started, to then start building out a sustainable program within themselves that we can then continue to support.
It's almost like building a curriculum for that space, just so anybody in that space could take it and run with it.
It's like a framework, so like steps 1 through 5, and if you do these steps, there's a place for you here to then participate like on an ongoing basis, essentially.
Man, I commend you. That's the type of thing we've been thinking about, because building a company, it's like you always got to make sure that it's not solely based on just one side or one person or anything like that, just so it can be a scalable model.
Systems and infrastructure, man.
Yeah, I see that's your business development side, man. That's impressive. That's dope.
You were marketing, right? Now, when it comes to the esports world, how big does marketing play in an exposure for talent, or just getting the message out for what it is that you guys do?
I would say when it relates to marketing and like esports and gaming in general, I think that's like, I'll call it 90% of it. I may be a bit biased, but I mean, to get the word out, like it's all content, right? And during COVID, the content engine was starving, but there's still a lot of people creating content. They just didn't necessarily know how to get it out there. And so that's like the number one problem where we talk about like, you know, talent not necessarily getting paid.
Right.
It's just because one, they may not have put in enough time, and then two, they just don't know how to get it out there.
Right.
And so that's what you find a lot of like talent managers doing, and then us in general, like getting the esports league out there. It's like we have to really market it, and we have to always be marketing it. That's why it's like, y'all got on merch, we can't stop type of way.
Right.
So now how would you give somebody who's looking to get into this space, you know, what type of advice would you give that person on how to market themselves as a content creator, as a gaming content creator, to actually, you know, position themselves to monetize?
Yeah, I mean, you want to start small. You want to be everywhere as much as possible. Not necessarily trying to reach all people, but the right people.
A niche.
Yeah, and so you'll have TikTok, which is, you know, started with like 10-second videos. You want to take your gaming clip, your 2 hours Twitch stream. How do you relate it to TikTok? How do you put it then on your Instagram, and then what's trending? Like what's the algorithm doing?
Right.
Same with Facebook, same with YouTube. You'll find a lot of gamers, they may not get paid on Twitch, but when they package their video from Twitch and put it on YouTube, that's when they start to get their residual income, because their views on YouTube may be a lot better because they know they understand that audience. So not necessarily focusing on one thing, but focusing on multiple, and then finding the one that works.
So basically taking your content and repackaging and repurposing it to distribute across other platforms.
That's the name of the game.
Now, what about Twitch in and of itself? Because from what I understand, you guys are, you know, partners with Twitch in some way, shape, or form, right? So how did that come about? You know, you guys getting a partnership with Twitch, and how is it? You know, what's the kind of secret recipe to content creators on Twitch building an audience, right, from scratch?
Yeah. So I think the main thing is like, our league is partnered with Twitch, but any and everyone can be a Twitch partner, right? There's like literally 5 requirements or so. If you meet those requirements, you become a Twitch partner. So that's what's like for those. So I was like, for anyone that's looking to become Twitch partners, like you get on, you become an affiliate first. You meet those metrics. It's like stream 7 days a week, stream for 100. I can't remember what it is, but it's like those type of criteria, and then you do that long enough, you do the partner status long enough, then you become a Twitch partner.
What's the benefit of that?
You get people. That's when people can then start subscribing. So you can't get subscriptions until you put in the minimum work to then show Twitch that you're like actually serious about this. You become a partner, then people can subscribe to your channel. They'll pay $5 a month. They do a 50-50 rev share, and then that's where you start seeing like uptick of people making money.
So for you to even start monetizing on Twitch, then you need to get to that status, is that right?
Yeah, so like you need to have partner level status on Twitch. So it may take, I can't remember what it is, but it could take as little as 30 days, as long as, you know, 2 years, just depending upon like how serious you are about doing that process.
You got to be consistent, pretty much. You got to see some sort of consistency. It's kind of like almost like posting on all these social networks. They usually reward people that are on there as much as possible. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man, that's interesting. That's definitely a cheat code right there. Because we didn't even think, I mean, we thought about, you know, streaming. We do a lot of streaming on YouTube and everything like that with our community, but I didn't think there was like some sort of requirement for you to become a...
Just live stream this podcast moving forward on Twitch. And put it on Just Chat.
That's exactly what
So we actually just started learning about Twitch from, you know, one of our team members here, and she's big on gaming and Twitch, you know, the Twitch world, right?
Yeah.
So she was actually recommending that, you know, going
she was
forward.
pushing. She was like, man, you
gotta be on Twitch.
And I heard T-Pain was talking about how he made more money on Twitch than he made in his music career. You know what I'm saying? So I've heard like, what is some of the, I guess, the crazier stories, if you would, from creators or gamers? What are some of the highest earning gamers out there? Like the top 1%, I guess, that you would say. There's not very many people, but of those 1%.
Hold on, real quick, before you answer that one, there was the other part of that question. I really want to touch on that real quick. Is how does somebody who start, like for example us, right? We just now starting in the Twitch space. How do we get to the point where we actually can like are really truly monetized? Like how do we unlock that Twitch stream of revenue? You know what I mean?
Honestly, you meet those requirements. It's a marketing game.
It's literally a bulleted list. So like you said, like Instagram rewards you, or other social media platforms, they reward you for consistency. Twitch does it like firsthand. It's like it's almost like a manual thing. Like you have it's a checkbox. Like you check the boxes. I will say though, to Ryan's point of like streaming the podcast on Twitch live, it's like it's one, it's a no-brainer, but two, just chatting is like a channel category on Twitch, and it's also the most watched channel category.
Just chatting.
Yeah, and that's only people there just chatting.
Really?
Yeah, versus like playing the game, right?
Man. So chatting on people's live streams.
Nah, it would be your live stream, but y'all are
streaming
like
us talking. Pretty much like if you're in a barbershop, they talk all day, just have a camera
categories. So like for instance, just like you would have different categories of movies or something like that. Just chatting is a category on Twitch that our podcast would fall under. Oh, gotcha. Okay. And so now, in that case now, is there something like with YouTube, for example, right? There's SEO, right? So like depending on how well you've categorize your content, you've got the different SEO parameters in there, it might show your video higher than others. How does Twitch's like algorithm kind of thing work? Is it based on SEO searchability or is it time?
Live viewers. So like that's Twitch also is like the true teller of viewership and audience, because you can't
no fluff.
There's no fluff, there's no advert, there's no like if your podcast goes live, that number that's like on the bottom right corner, that's exactly how many people are like tuned in. So what Twitch is or what is unique is, that's why, to answer your question, is how can people make so much money fast? It's because it's actually real viewers. So it's not recorded and then pre-produced. So like if a marketer's like, yo, you're reaching 250,000 people, like that means there's probably 250,000 people tuned in. Mind you, some people are probably not at their device.
Right.
Call it up 200,000 people.
Right.
All right, cool. That's direct marketing.
So is it that Twitch will reward the videos that have more views get pushed higher to the front of the Twitch search category or whatnot? Like I'm trying to understand, how do people find the video? Like we go live right now. All right, we have our community that'll tune into it, right? But how do other people find us,
it will be throttled based on like, if then other people tuned in and started chatting, it would move you higher.
So it's activity, level of activity.
It's literally the true teller of your true core like audience,
right?
And engagement.
Like how strong is your fan base? Pretty much.
Like you pretty much can't fake it on Twitch.
That's dope. I like that though.
Sense,
I like that, and I like how open they are with the manual. Like you can really, there's like a checklist. You know what I'm saying? All these other social media platforms, there's always a hidden mystery that you got to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's different.
Oh, that's dope. So Twitch monetization, I think, is definitely a major thing. I didn't even know that the different categories. That first off, just chatting is a major category on there. When I think Twitch, I automatically assume gaming, right?
Yeah.
And I assume also that the people that are on Twitch are a different demographic than what we typically look at, and I'm sure a lot of other people probably do too, right? So when we look at demographic-wise on Twitch, do you guys find that it's skewed towards one category over another? Like, is it skewed towards like the typical gamer demographic or is there a typical gamer demographic in the first place? I think, younger audience, I think, more predominantly male, right?
Yeah.
Younger type of side. Is that true or false?
I think it's false. I think oftentimes it's easier to look at like society as like just society, and it's just one big thing, and everybody does the same thing.
Categorized.
But it's definitely categorized. So like you may have a 14-year-old kid who is professional and he plays Fortnite, and you also have a 35-year-old guy who is just in his basement playing Fortnite.
Chilling.
And they're literally talking to each other, and they're friends. And then you have women. You have trans. So I mean, the gaming community is
diverse.
It's very diverse, I would say. It's just in a sense of like professionalism.
Right.
Then
the one thing that I've seen, especially in that space, is that the gaming industry, like you got a lot of Twitch users are usually the same type of people that are using Discord heavily, and the same type of people that are really interested in Web3, NFT, crypto. You know what I'm saying? What is that similarity like? I know I'm sure there's a lot of chatter there.
I mean, I would just say like it's like really no direct answer, right? Like Twitch is just an open platform. So just chatting is the most watched channel on Twitch. That has nothing to do with gaming. There's also like Twitch music, right? So I think it's an open community, just like Twitter, right? Like there's sections.
You can find different sections of Twitter. That makes sense.
And so the audience of tuned in, it's basically, again,
Right. It's just
very
what's
much
advertised.
cable television, right? Like certain people are gonna be drawn to BET, some people are gonna be drawn to ESPN,
1000%.
and it's literally just built upon the creator, the program, and their ability to entertain.
Right.
It's kind of like what makes someone a successful creator.
Right.
And then once you become more successful, brands will be like, and again, because none of this stuff is hidden, right? Like Twitch is very much a public platform. So once you're trending upwards, companies reach out and they say, we want to pay you to then run sponsorships on your channel and kind of like the whole nine. So that's what I was like, it's funny because I think gaming just in its nature is one of the only things that's you really can't cheat code because the games are engineered themselves to not have cheat codes.
You can't. So you telling me? You telling me that we can't cheat code gaming? Man?
Like there's not like a.
I thought cheat codes were gaming.
Yeah, like. You know what's funny is like I think I don't even remember the last time. I remember as a kid you could go to like cheatcode.com, like you could like get all the cheats for like Grand Theft Auto.
You can't go to cheatcode.com
now. We own cheatcode.com. Yeah.
I just remember it was something like that.
Nah, I know exactly
like all the Tony Hawk,
and even GTA, all the cheat codes in GTA.
There's no more cheat codes in gaming.
It's especially because of the live stream component, right? I think a lot of that could come on something like YouTube or like you get like, you know, people just like running up numbers just from like factories and stuff like that. But like in Twitch, bro, it's like the data's the data.
Right.
Yeah. And there's literally an audience. I look at it like the Apple campaign, like there's an app for that. It's literally an audience for anything you can think of in terms of gaming and like Twitch. Like to Ryan's point, it's like live stream. It's almost like live stream cable television.
Yeah.
Literally, if you wanted to watch a young lady in a hot tub, just talking to her Twitch audience, like you could go and watch that.
Everything is live stream.
Yeah, it's mostly live stream.
So I'm assuming. So now let me ask you this. I know this is a little bit off topic, but vloggers. Because when you say that, I mean it reminds me very much of the vloggers that are on YouTube and things of that nature, except to be real time. And if you think about even people going live on Instagram, you know, a lot of times you scroll through those lives and it might just be somebody just sitting there talking, or a girl brushing her hair just talking, or a guy just, you know what I'm saying, whatever it may be. Is it like Twitch a major vlogging platform for, you know, people doing that type of stuff? And is there, you know, do you guys know about any monetization on that?
I would say no.
No,
Twitch,
really?
So Twitch basically it's catered towards like you kind of have to be on there live. Like you could rebroadcast your stuff.
Right.
You could also like after you go live. So for example, we go live with HBCU esports, and then the VOD, which is the video on demand, would be there for call it 30, I think at the most 90 days. After that, it's wiped away. So you have to save it. Versus YouTube, it's like you're uploading pre-recorded content. You could also go live too. But yeah, to answer your question, it's more so like live streaming. I think it's that way for a reason. It's like trying to keep it as authentic as possible. Right. So like you can't run your views up in the factory. Like these are people that are actually watching you.
Right. No, what I meant was like for vloggers, right? Do you see Twitch becoming a bigger platform for people who vlog? Like just like literally take their phone out and just follow themselves?
It's not really, it's not mobile. So you can stream mobilely, I suppose, but it's not like,
as appealing.
Hey, I'm at like a festival and like you can't go live from your cell phone, right? So, and I think they'll probably do that eventually, but it's not that type of content. So it's more of like my first person is Twitch is really built upon like skill sets, not adventure. So like you're usually watching someone do something that you yourself can't do. So like
or want to learn
or learn, you know, it's like so it's pure curiosity. So I mean, there's some I'm sure like lifestyle Twitch streamers, but they're usually doing something.
You know, to me, I know Twitch has been around for some time, right? But to me, it's still a new platform. Like I've never engaged. It's new to me, right? And I know it's new to millions of other people who have been on YouTube and been watching YouTube for forever, right? And now it's just a different way to consume content. So I feel like as more of these celebrities start to bring those audiences over to Twitch, right, that it'll kind of, I guess, maybe increase the pool of, you know, users who are now on Twitch that would consume different types of content. You know, I want to know what you did.
Because like in a weird way, it kind of actually minimizes because remember Twitch is built upon live stream. Like it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So like hypothetically speaking, the same ratio, right? If in fact we were all on YouTube and then we all then went to Twitch, I can't watch all 4 of us at the same time unless I was like had 4 monitors in front of me, and now I'm a Chris fan of this fan. So like what I'm saying is like it actually minimizes the amount of opportunities for creators to make money.
It's a limitation of the platform.
It's a limitation on human availability, because like all of our content can run simultaneously. Like all of us
can't watch all of them.
Yeah, but all of us can go live.
That's why YouTube is superior right now. But if the company was to change their business model and move to that, like evergreen, content model, then that would change that whole problem.
So that's what's like. These platforms are great for people that have massive audiences. That's why it's really hard to build on Twitch. So to answer your question is like, the people that are big right now in the Twitch sphere started on Twitch in 2014 when it was just called Justin TV, before it was called Twitch, right? And then they were able to grow as the company grew with the acquisition of Amazon. The other people that are big on Twitch are the Drewskis and T-Pains of the world that already have like these audiences that can then basically go live and then entertain. People like us, it's a different story, like, and that's why we started this program not too long ago. It's called Big Creator. The play on Big Sean is like, at least this is what I told myself, like Big Sean, his security was big, so he was like Big Sean, he was Little Sean and Big Sean was Big Sean, so like Big Creator is like, I don't know if that was even the purpose, but
nah, it wasn't, but it's cool.
I like it. But like basically now building a community of streamers that have under 100 concurrent live viewers, because in order to basically reach scale, you have to build an aggregated audience. But you have a better chance of building an aggregated audience under one umbrella than you do as an individual in a lot of cases. So that's why, again, even the biggest streamers on Twitch, they all stream together. So like there really is no disparity, because I'm either, so like literally you'll have, so like you'll have 50,000 people watching, you'll have 40, I have 60, Chris I have 100, right? But we're all on the same team playing Warzone. So now our stream has 400,000 people watching,
and it's all credited to everybody.
And on the deal side, sure, like that's where it becomes. It's a little bit different to your point. The business model is economics. That's why I have to get into this, because I don't like people to think that I'm just going to go on Twitch and like. It's very strategic how these people are making money.
1,000%, and that's the cheat codes. That's what we're trying to. That's what we're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? You just give us some of that. We need more of that.
Like the cheat code. It's like
the
strategic ways to move around.
What we're hearing is pretty much build an audience first and foremost. First of all, be entertaining, right? First of all, be entertaining, and have something unique, right? That people want to watch, because like you said, it's on Twitch. Which to me, what I'm hearing is a limitation of the platform, essentially, right? Being that, if there's 1,000 people, those 1,000 people can only watch but one stream at a time, right? Versus YouTube, where you can watch one, consecutively and watch all of them if you wanted to, right? So it's basically survival of the fittest. Whoever's the most entertaining will get the lion's share of that group, right? And so what I'm hearing is be entertaining, first and foremost, and have unique content that people want to watch. Number 2, be strategic, right? Doing things like you said, tactics like, grouping together, sharing audiences, things of that nature. And then what it sounds like is number 3, build audiences elsewhere that you can, bring over. Similar to what you said earlier about taking your content from Twitch and distributing it across other platforms, thus building audiences on other platforms that would want to watch you on Twitch. Does that sound
vice versa?
And then being a part of a collective. Like that's what FaZe. That's why everyone assumes FaZe Clan is just rich off of nothing. Like they're just.
It's crazy because I'm wearing a FaZe Clan shirt right now. You know what I'm saying?
Like their ability to get the not only most entertaining streamers, but the streamers that have the most followers. Right. You put them under a banner.
They got LeBron's son because he got an audience already.
They're able to run
a collective.
That's what, again, the big creator program is like. It's going to be really hard for someone with minus 100 subscribers or viewers to make money. But if we then bring 100 of those people together, and then now you turn 100 to 10,000, you turn 10,000 to 100,000, and then now you're able to basically help that ecosystem monetize itself. Because independently, it'll be very, very hard to do so.
Group economics, man. That's just the smartest way to go. Just everybody has their skill set. Bring a piece of this, bring a piece of that. We got a big.
So we basically have like our school and academic programs. Right. We have a collegiate league, and then we have a big creator program. So it's like education.
That's like a funnel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's dope. And how many views do you guys typically see from, you know, some of the streams that you guys do? Like I said, for the you know, if somebody out there wants to join your you know, big creator program, you know, what do you guys typically see from that?
Like again, I'm gonna go back to like programs, 'cause I think this stuff is like really important, right? So our league is like our NFL Sunday. So we reach about 750,000, 800,000 live viewers a week with the esports league.
At one time,
over the course of the 3 hours that it's live.
Which is still massive.
So year 2, we just did like 15.5 million live viewers of the esports league.
Congrats, man. That's big. Yeah, that's like Super Bowl numbers damn near.
And then separate from that, some of our other programs aren't as popular, but that's just like television, right? Like our league is a thing that has the investment, media, advertising, the whole nine. But big creator could do a few hundred, a few thousand, a few tens of thousands, just depending upon, again, like how that program is structured, who's a part of the program, and then how that program is then marketed.
That makes a lot of sense, man.
So like Twitch just basically allows you to be your own television network.
Exactly. I was just about to say, because if you think about it, I mean, I'm just picturing, you're saying over the course of 3 hours, reaching 750,000 people. Like, we live in such a digital world that we don't realize just the capacity of, if you put 750,000 people in any arena, that looks like, I mean, it's overflowing.
That's huge.
That's
There's
massive.
cities that don't
Yeah, literally.
750,000 people around the world.
Yeah.
So that is pretty, that's
definitely
huge,
commend you guys on that, man. That's massive.
How long have you guys been on the Twitch platform?
2 years.
Yeah, going on
2 years.
Going on 3.
So in 2 years, you're able to amass an audience of 750,000, 800,000 people on a particular live stream.
Yep. It's built around, again, like a traditional sports model. So there's advertisements, there's marketing. So don't get me wrong, on Twitch you can have advertising, but it's not like Instagram where you're boosting a post, right? Like, so there's advertisements, commercials. We have brands like Verizon, Discover, and Nike are sponsors. So like, there's other distribution outlets besides just going live. So I was like, that's the main thing. Like, going live is just like the end result. How you promote it and market it outside of that. I look at like a traditional basketball game, right? Like NBA on Wednesday night. You know about the game next Wednesday from the Wednesday before. And then you're seeing the commercials and the social media posts and
it's like building the hype, the campaign before the game.
So it's that same type of model. Like, and that's what, like, if done correctly, what Twitch, to your point, have the utility to create for a lot of different like environments.
That's dope, man. You guys really gave a lot of insight, man, into Twitch, because I literally, you know, this is something we've been talking about for a while. You know, we've just been hearing about it, right? But you guys have actually done it, and what I really like about what you just said was, you know, really adopting some of the models from traditional television media, right? You know, promoting the next week's, you know, not episode, but game on this week's game. Right now, people are automatically going to, you know, mark that down in their mind. If I enjoyed this one, I'm going to mark down the next one, right? And that's literally what they do on TV shows almost, you know, everywhere. They, you know, stay tuned for the next episode of, you know, whatever it may be, right? And so I think that's even something that I would say would apply to creators of all sorts, you know, even for stuff like our podcast. Y'all gonna see.
You're gonna see us on Twitch.
Forget all this. You see us on Twitch on the next episode of Cheat Code Unlocked. Stay tuned because we got another Like, we're gonna start to adopt that model just off of, you know, that type of thing, because these are things that have been proven successful across, you know, dozens of years in traditional media. And so even to the point that you know, you and Jay made you know, a few minutes ago about, you know, traditional media going away, right? This kind of being the new form of traditional media, adopting those things that we know works, you know, I think is just one of those cheat codes that we gotta take as content creators, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram Live, whatever it may be, right? So, you know, again, commend you guys for thinking in that type of terms and you know, creating a you know, new version of you know, traditional sports media.
That's amazing.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. on the note of like you said, right? Not everybody can be a gamer. Like, right now, I love gaming, but I'm not the best gamer, right? But I love money, so I love opportunities. What are some of the opportunities that people out there can get into as far as like, gaming space, like, developer? I know there's developers and stuff like that, but what are some of the other things that people can actually get their hands in and build a skill set around it just to generate income?
I mean, most gaming companies have all the jobs of a traditional corporation. So we focus on marketing, human resources, legal. I mean, so gaming isn't like a specific skill set. It's skills that can be used in the industry. So a lot of times you look at a traditional sports franchise, all the jobs that exist at the Atlanta Hawks exist at Activision Blizzard, exist at 2K. So what we're doing is more so raising the awareness that you can work in this space. And if you are, again, a graphic designer, coder, development, like this is just an industry that you should consider as you're like on your pursuit of different jobs. So like even this summer we have, I think close to maybe 10 or 15 students in internships at 2K and Riot Games, like actually working at those corporations. So like, now it's just about, again, putting the students in position, using our partnerships with these institutions or these corporations to get kids in these positions. So then now those kids probably have 5 friends that they've told, 5 family members, and it just becomes like an exponential like thing that grows.
No, that's awesome.
You don't have to be a gamer to do it either.
No, that makes perfect sense. Now I saw, while doing my research, I saw you worked on the Space Jam project, right?
Oh yeah.
You had some sort of insight. How was that? I was interested. I know that's pretty revolutionary.
That was probably one of the best projects that we worked on, I think.
Man, that's dope.
So we were able to, we're really close with Microsoft, of course. And so Microsoft had a hand in basically the Space Jam: A New Legacy as that rollout. So in the movie, LeBron James' son, he wants to be a video game developer. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's too late to spoil it though.
No, I see it. It's been out for a minute. You're not spoiling it.
Cool. So yeah, he wants to be a video game developer, and kind of like that's like the storyline of the movie, and so they wanted to tie in video games. And so we were able, so with the movie also came a video game. There's like a Space Jam: New Legacy video game on Xbox Game Pass for all my gamers out there. Definitely go check it out. But yeah, so we're able to basically congregate 8 HBCU students here in Atlanta, brought them all here to play the game. We created like a tournament around it. We live streamed it, of course, on Twitch. But then the 2 finalists got a chance to fly out to LA with us. And so now to put things into perspective, they're on the red carpet with LeBron James and Mav Carter and Rich Paul, all the people that they look up to.
That's big, man. LeBron's my guy.
Yeah, this guy been having dreams about me, LeBron.
Man. It's crazy because LeBron's son and I actually share the same birthday. It's crazy. Weird. I found that out like last year or something like that. I was like, oh, that's weird. Yeah. But now I feel like there's some business up here. Long story short, but I thought that was dope though.
The 2 finalists, we all went out there. They played live on the red carpet, or the purple carpet, but that whole red carpet experience, they played live and like fans were cheering them on. Maybe we can send out some pictures to throw in here too, but so then from there we all kind of walked into the movie, watched LeBron James give his speech, literally sitting beside like celebrities there, like fanning out.
That's just a cool experience. You know what I'm saying?
You get to meet LeBron?
Nah, I didn't. It was too far away. We met some pretty cool people though.
Yeah, it's coming around. I'm sure. I'm sure it's coming around for sure, man. That's dope, man. It's really cool experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sounds like fun.
It's cool to be able to provide that experience to the students too. Like just starting
the life change. We'll remember that forever.
Yeah, and that was like year 1 of HBCU Esports League.
Right.
So just being able to work.
10 years from now. Where do you guys see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? What's the goal? What's the vision for community?
Just think Black gaming. You think community. Like we just got back 2 days ago from Essence Fest.
How was that? I heard that was massive.
I saw the clips from Essence Fest.
Yeah, it was good. We created a gaming experience there. So like at this point, we just plan is just to keep partnering with like the biggest culturally relevant and like sports properties in the country.
Stepping up.
So we were at Super Bowl. We did something out in California, something really, really small during All-Star Weekend. But now when it just comes to either talent, so like talent signed at like major agencies, we want to be like the people that they go to, specifically when it's like diversity. So like last year, we partnered with Michael B. Jordan in the Legacy Classic, and with that experience that they did with Warner, We did the tour with Corday, and like took them to
yeah.
and so just like a whole bunch of stuff. So like now it's just bringing it all together to basically package to say that, you know, we're the education group, we're the league itself that's like funding scholarships. And we're also like the media arm that could help influencers, entertainers, professional athletes like come into that space like holistically.
Now, are you guys planning on actually signing your own talent?
Say it again?
Are you guys actually planning on signing your own talent?
So yeah, I mean, where it makes sense. Yeah, we have one right now that just got into a Microsoft commercial. Matter of fact, Microsoft advertisement. So that's also like, but I think that type of stuff again, kind of like now with music, it as it presents itself, like it's not, in my opinion, right now, it's not a huge business investment to like go sign talent and get them deals.
Right.
We'll just keep doing our leagues. We'll keep signing on new partners. Those partners will then ask, do we know talent? And then that process will then like
reverse engineer it back that way.
Yeah, I like that, man.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, you guys definitely got something major here, man, for real.
We thought about doing like master course on Twitch. I was like, I don't know.
You should.
But we just live it out and through like these podcasts. And
we gotta get where y'all are. I mean, commend y'all, like you said, pretty much started 3 years.
And
then grew y'all's platform to where it is now. So that's something that we're trying to do now, is just get better at telling these stories.
Same.
You're saying it word for word. That's exactly what we're talking about, man. Because we just be in the back end just working. You know what I'm saying? Our group grew organically. Ended up moving to Discord. That's when I first heard about Twitch personally. Once I got to Discord, and then like, you know, I met people on Discord that were like, yo, like Twitch, man, like, you know, live streaming, gaming and stuff like that.
I just kept seeing the logo everywhere. I remember
the
seeing the logo places. I was like, what is that? And then I see it and it be gamers. And no, it's not for me. You know what I mean? It's not my thing. But
that's how it's advertised in the media. Even though there's different pockets that are like so many like different communities out there. People chilling in hot tubs talking and stuff like that. It's like, yo, like, you know, gaming is like the forefront of
and now Jay's gonna go. You're gonna be on Twitch searching up hot tubs.
Hot tubs. ASMR. They be wilding on Twitch.
I'm sure. You will be doing all kinds of stuff.
But I'll give you like probably 5 different like shows to watch that I think that
please
could get on there and kind of like
love to hear that.
Mimic in a way, but also kind of take it a step further.
Right, learn from.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'd love that. Yeah.
Oh, you mean privately?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought you was about to drop.
That's the cheat code. After the cheat code unlocked, you feel me? That's exclusive content. We're gonna only stream that to our Twitch audience. If you're not subscribed to Twitch, make sure you go to Twitch at cheatcode_TV, man. That's gonna be our Twitch, man.
Look,
see, just like that. See what I did there?
Exactly.
I'm learning. I'm a fast learner.
All right, guys, man. Listen, you know, you guys are, you know, two of the, I think, the dopest guests we've had so far. Man, I think just what you guys have been able to create, the uniqueness of it. Right, you know, this expanse of it, you know, basically becoming like you said NCAA or NFL for esports gaming is phenomenal, and for people of color, I think that is, you're pioneering, you know what I'm saying, which I think is massive. So I appreciate y'all for not just being here, but also doing what it is that you guys have done and building what you guys have built, because I don't want to understate that, you know, I think that's absolutely massive.
Sure.
All right.
As always, I think that's pretty much. I mean, personally, I feel like I learned a lot. I'm probably gonna get that gaming console. I might start, streaming. So I'm you know, once I start my channel, I'm gonna let you guys know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
this guy starts gaming, we ain't gonna get no.
Listen, man, it's crazy because when I was in college, I actually graduated in 2016 as well. Okay. When I was in college, like we'd be playing FIFA and like we get written up all the time because we'd be in there like crazy, like throwing benches. Like we really were into like gaming like that. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I gave up that life, you know, for cheat code, but you know.
Yeah, well look, I guess we'll end with a note of, I just want to recap a couple things from, you know, what we spoke of earlier, you know, that I think, you know, I would consider cheat codes from this, you know, conversation.
Action items.
I think one of them, you know, again, kind of going back to the uniqueness of creating content, taking your content, if you do get onto Twitch, for my people out there who have listened to this or already on Twitch or, you know, wherever you may be, creating your content, take your content, repurpose your content, and build your audience, right? Make sure that you have unique content that's entertaining and engaging, build your audience, and distribute your content in other arenas. Try to get to, you know, be like a Drewski or a T-Pain if you
personality.
can, right? Have some
Right.
personality out there and build your audience. Second off, make sure that you encourage encouraging engagement within your content, right? Because I think that that's another major thing that stimulates that content or that pushes your content out to more people. And find the right category for yourself, right? Whether it's just chatting or other categories that may be out there. Expand your horizons. Twitch is not just for gamers, but for anybody that has something to say.
Yeah, now for sure. For me, I'll give you some action items, man. So you want to go to twitch.com, just go to twitch.com and create your username, create your handle, make sure you secure your name, secure the brand if you're planning on building something special with that, if it's a personality or whatever you want to call it. Create a TikTok, build an audience on a place like TikTok, because right now that's what a lot of YouTubers are doing, because TikTok's algorithm really is letting you reach as many people as physically possible. Go there, directs people back to your Twitch, just tell them, you're gonna have some special like live streams for them. Do that, go to Canva, create your banner, everything like that, make it look good, you know what I'm saying? And then go to a platform like a StreamYard, just so you can stream on different platforms at the same time. That way, you're multitasking, you're killing two birds with one stone. While you're on TikTok live, you could also be on Twitch live and then on Instagram live and on YouTube live, all at the same time. So make sure you start that account, get started. That's what I'll leave you guys with, man. That's dope.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys.
I
man.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate y'all having us.
Yeah,
Of course.
as always,
Make sure you
tell a friend,
To
tell a friend, to tell a mother friend.
let's go.
Appreciate you guys,
Appreciate
man.
y'all, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Yo.